So yeah, how's it hanging? It's me, Kyron again. I want to say thank you guys very much. Mostly because we finally reached 20 subscribers, and I'm very grateful that I was finally able to reach 20 subscribers. Mostly because I thought I was gonna be at like 50, you know? But I'm very grateful that I was able to pull it off. You know, especially since that last video got me a lot of views and 2 new subscribers. That was pretty fun. I'm very grateful that I was able to reach 20, and thank you to everyone who's willing to stay on my adventures with me. I'm gonna talk more about it in the 20 subs video and more in depth, but for now it's going to be just that because because there's a lot I saved for the 2020 special. Mostly because I just got a lot to say. I just want to say thank you. But there's a lot of things that have been happening. So production for this weekend and for next week is gonna be non-existent. Mostly because I got tests, I got missing assignments, I got videos to plan. There's a lot I gotta do during this weekend and week. So I hope that you guys are patient enough to see what's next, because obviously I got things planned, but for now it's very small. So let's talk about Delorean. I want to make this video like a little while. This was actually going to be the first video instead of that one, but that one came into out of nowhere, and I remember I promised myself if that video did come out that I was gonna make a video on it. So that's my first video. So this is the second one now, and I have a lot to say. It's not gonna be a very long video, but it's pretty much what I have to say and what I think. So yeah, let's talk about Delorean's second ult. I don't know what ult this one is, but it's his story ult. And by God, his stories aren't well written. I'm sorry. I'm not a writer, but I can pretty much tell the difference between a badly written story and a very animated story and a good one. It is so like bare bones, just nothing except for annoyance and like I don't even know, just annoyance and like agony. Like I actually had to go sit down and like watch this one, the one that's right here. Went through this whole video and I just got nothing out of it. I think the main things that I can sit down and get out of animation is the idea of seeing something or feeling something. Even the animations, which are joke ones, at least give me somewhat of a feel. I think a really good example is like Speedo Sausage. That guy does like really good animation in parody videos, and they're really cool to look at. They give me a feeling. But when I watch Delorean videos, all I feel is like, I guess like frustrated, and that's it. Delorean videos don't really make me feel anything because I don't think that was his intent. Maybe it was just played for laughs, but that's all I get from this. Just laughs, nothing else. And it's really sad. I think this is pretty much the bare bones of terrible animation, and trust me, I've seen worse. Go look at Food Fight. That is the worst animated movie. And I'll probably sit down and watch that than this. But I hope that, like, I'm not saying that you have to actually sit down and learn how to animate. Not at all. Some animations can be unique and be used in a unique way like this, with like little portraits in the boxes. A really good example is Epithet Erased. If you haven't seen the show, go look at it. It's a really good show and it's well written. But the storytelling and how it's like animated and formatted, it's really nice, and plus it's really different than most of the stuff I see. So if you haven't really seen it, Delorean, go give it a check. It's a really good idea of using little portraits or sprites. to your advantage in storytelling. But the problem that I have with Huzaka is because it doesn't use that as an advantage. Honestly, I think it just does that because the animator doesn't care. Or at least if he does care, he doesn't try hard enough. I haven't used KineMaster in a while, but I'm pretty sure I can sit down and probably make a competent animation. I could probably copy this style. That's how easy it is. It's really weird. But it's really unfun to look at. I don't know the purpose of this. And honestly, I'm not going to talk about that because I can talk about that more in depth later when we get there. But it's really, really odd. Like, I don't really get who this is for. Because it looks all small, but it's definitely not for kids. But obviously it comes from the mind of a kid. Because I highly doubt Delorean's over the age of 15 or 16. Mostly because of how he acts. But I'm guessing what this is made for is just for laughs. But it isn't funny. So it just comes off as very, very poorly made and unfunny. So I don't really technically know who this is for. Something else I want to talk about in these videos is... Oh yeah, wait, no, before I move on to the next one, and this is another animator I want to compare to. He's a really good animator. I don't think his animation is Pixar, like style, but I will say this, at least his animation is competent and is really good. I think his animations are pretty alright, and at least it has somewhat of a style to it. When I look at this type of animation, it gives me more of a cartoon feel. Also, that's how I got my, that's also how I got my profile picture, because this guy, drawed it for me. But something that I can at least say is I can give somewhat of a feel of this. I mean, heck, even the story is really well written. Even the dialogue is fine. I would go in more depth of it, but I'm going to save that idea for another video. Yeah, you better watch out, Angel. I'm going to create a video about this. But I think the main thing that it does is it has a focus of what it is. It seems like Delorean's animations don't really have a focus of what they are. I guess it's for parody or to be made in front of, but it kind of fails at that, so it kind of doesn't have a point. Also, something else I want to talk about is dialogue. Listen, I'm not expecting very complex dialogue, but at least I expect somewhat of good dialogue, or like okay dialogue. Just Huzaka's dialogue in general just feels either boring or just terrible. I swear. I swear, it's not just this one, it's the other ones. But dialogue feels so terrible. You can really tell that this dialogue was written by a 12-year-old just because of how dull it is. I think that's what makes it terrible in the first place, because it has no life or creativity into it. I guess you could say that it's a little bit unfair to, I guess you could say it's a little bit unfair that the fact that I'm comparing like a show animation to like a KineMaster animation. I guess you could say that's a little bit unfair. But yet again, if you're flaunting and saying that this is the best animation ever, then you should expect me to compare it to other animations. The better animations. I think that's pretty fair if you're gonna hold your animations that high. Not to say that you have to think your animation is crap, but have some modesty. Don't think of it too low and don't think of it too high. Alright? You don't have to act like your animations are God's gift to the world. Because it really isn't. But this is the last thing I want to talk about, is the point of these videos. I probably already said this earlier. Yeah, I already did, but I don't necessarily get the point of these videos, or who they're targeted for, or what they're here for. Because usually when it comes to these animation shows, they usually have a reason why they exist, or what's going on, and I'm able to follow by that. But Delorean doesn't really give me any leverage. Well, none at all, really. I don't really know who this is intended for. Well, yeah, I really don't know who's intended for. The writing sounds like it's for babies, but what they're doing and what they're, talking about seems like it's for adults. So it's kind of all over the place. But that's all I wanted to talk about for today. I kind of just wanted to give an example of why I don't like these animations. Why I really don't like it. I did sit down and promise that I would say that, I did promise that I would make a video about this, and I did. See, I kept my promise. But I think I'm gonna leave it there. I hope that you improve in your work, man. I hope that you're able to sit down and create better animations. Because I'm gonna be honest with you, these animations aren't that good. They're not entertaining at all either, which is really sad. But I hope you're able to get better and not steal anyone else's animations, because I saw that other video you did where it was stealing the other guy's animation and all you did was strip the words and the music. But I hope you enjoyed this video. Next time, I hope I get to see you guys next time, because there's a lot I have in store. I'll see you guys next time. Peace. Oh wait, before I go, now that I realize it, the last thing I want to talk about is actually no, never mind. I will say this. In Discord, I do like a really good example in one of the Discords is Kit Kat's writing. It's like this one joke's called like the one night stand, well, like one night I don't know how to say it, but she made it, and it was really engaging and nice. It really says something when a parody can. It really says something when a parody, can make me laugh more than a parody that's an actual animation. If you get what I'm saying. If you don't get what I'm saying, then that probably would make sense, because I don't know how to format it any better. But I hope you guys enjoyed my video. I'll see you guys next time. Peace.